Hey guys, it's Erin here. I promise I will have some photography content for you very soon, but we're gonna go straight into another bullet journal video, and I wanted to keep things very chill, very minimal. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this setup, but I still wanted it to look kind of stylish, so let's get into it. So I'm using a Leuchtturm 1917 notebook, which works just fine for me. My trusty Sharpie pen is going to be my main hero for the month. I've got a white Signo gel pen, Signo? Don't know how to say that, never sure. Here's my new hero. It is the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen. Mum, am I a real bullet journaler yet? I've also got a mechanical pencil to sketch some things out on some pages where I'm going to be doing things a bit differently to my usual layouts. My handy dandy glue tape. This stuff is so good. I really enjoy using it. It's so much easier than other glue types. An eraser because we all make mistakes. And I have two cute little cat washi tapes here that I wasn't sure at this point if I was going to use them. I actually only ended up using the bottom one, which is just kitty faces, which is really fun. All right, let's get to journaling. Oh wait, first tea. This is very important. I am drinking strawberries and cream tea from T2 and it's really great. Okay, so this is the exact same paper that I have over my table as my backdrop. It's just black, black? What? No, it's brown. Brown craft paper, and I'm just tearing it up. I found that having a little bit of a collage-y effect in the journal last month worked really well for me. I don't usually love sticking stuff into my journal because it makes it a little bit thicker, but this is quick and it's easy and it's effective, and I just thought, you know what, we're gonna go for it. Next month I can do something not collage-y maybe, we'll see how we go, but for now, I've got a big weekend coming up and it's nearly July and I just gotta have my journal done, so we're going collage-y because it's effective and it's swift. And that was the most important thing to me for this setup, was that it was swift. So I cheat a little bit with my hand lettering. I'll quite often look up a reference for what I want to try, and obviously my Tombow Fudenosuke pen here is not the same as the pen that had been used to make the July that I'm using as my reference, but it does the trick. I'm fine with it. It still looks very neat and clean. And I've been doing double page cover pages for each month for a little while, and I'm just not feeling it, guys. I'm not into double page, like a full spread cover page. I just feel like that takes up too much space. I like to get the most out of a journal that I can, so I'm going back to, I'm still having a cover page, it's just that like one side of a spread, and I'm going back to a single page calendar because honestly, I don't find that I turn back to my month at a glance calendar overview page very much. I use it to plan out the month in advance, and it just kind of gets my head on straight, but then I don't flick back to it very much. But I also feel like my month is not complete without it. I like having it there and I enjoy setting it up. So we're still gonna have it. Oh, hold on, I'm getting a delivery. The maths to make sure that I was spreading this out evenly, it's a little bit embarrassing how long it took me to put this together. But that's okay, because the power of video editing means that you don't have to sit through me calculating things on my phone. The gold pen I'm using here is a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen. It's kind of like a paint pen almost, the way the ink comes out on the page. If you make a mistake on something, you can kind of go over it with this and it hides it really nicely. And I'm using the calendar on my phone as a reference. I like to have my month start on a Monday. My weeks. I like to have my week start on a Monday. And July just happens to have the Monday and the first fall on the same day. Does that make sense? July happens to have the first fall on a Monday. That makes more sense. And I just feel like that's so very nice and neat and worked very nicely for me. So that's great. Thanks, July. Appreciate that very much. I ended up going in on my little month markers and this section at the bottom. I thought about putting another bit of paper there, but I decided to black it out and put a quote in my white pen instead. And I didn't have this at the beginning because I didn't know I was going to be using it, but I blacked those areas out with a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist brush pen in black, and I found this quote from, I honestly am not familiar with this person. I just searched for halfway quotes because July is like, oh, we're halfway through the year, time to reassess goals and check that you're doing the things that you wanted to do with your year. So a halfway quote seemed appropriate, and this one was very nice. The quote is, "A goal properly set is halfway reached." And I like that. I like that a lot. I can be a bit bad in my goal setting, so that's a helpful thing for me to remember. except that I probably won't be flicking back to this page, but that's okay. My next 2 pages, honestly, I do this the same way every time because it's still working for me. And there are other gratitude and habit tracker and mood tracker layouts out there. And I've only been doing the mood tracker for a little while, but this works so well for me. So I just do split the page in half because I used to just have one line all the way across for a gratitude section, but I kind of got bored with that. So it's the same concept. It's just that you've got half a line twice to write your daily gratitude bit. Pop the numbers down the side. This is a good example of Erin made a mistake, and you can just color over it with that pen and you're good to go, which is very nice. And I'm just using those little torn up bits of paper, which you can't see it, it's a little bit out of frame here, but I actually just tore off the edge of my tablecloth paper here, which I also used for my last bullet journal video, and it's been there ever since because your girl's been busy. And it's out of frame so you can't see it, but I just literally tore this off the paper that was already there because it was a little bit messed up and my cat's been walking on it, and yep. So these are just the days of the week, the letter for the day of the week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and also the number beside it because I just find it's easier to have both. And we're gonna get into the kitty washi tape now. So I'm just dividing off, this was the exact same setup I did last month, dividing off part of the page for my mood tracker on the smaller right-hand side and my habit tracker on the slightly bigger left-hand side. I've been tracking less habits, but still a lot of habits compared to probably most people. I keep this so simple. I couldn't be bothered drawing out a whole elaborate thing where I have to fill in a different color or a different pattern every day because I don't actually necessarily pick up my bullet journal every day. I only use it on the days that I'm in my office. So having this little bit of flexibility works really well for me. And this is another Faber-Castell Artist Pit brush pen that I did not anticipate using, but I ended up reaching for. I didn't want to do this part all in black because I find that the Signo white gel pen dries kind of slowly, and I don't know, I just didn't want to wait for that or blot it and smudge it or anything. So I went for grey. It's still neutral. It ties in with some of the cat colours on the washi. And I'm going to pop my days of the week along the top. I thought it would be better to draw these bad boys out first and then stick my headings down because there was almost a little bit of overlap going on there. And on the mood tracker, I literally just kind of draw a line. I made them into little flowers for last month to kind of like tie in with my theme. I don't know what I'm going to do this time. Maybe it'll be like a paw print. Maybe it'll just be a line, which is also completely fine, like all good, no worries. Let us stick these bad boy titles down at the top here, and we will move on. I'm honestly not going to even decorate this page. I'm just going to draw out my graph chart situation with the gold pen and write a title, but this is going to be my spending tracker. So I've been tracking all of my purchases, even the tiny ones, since February so that I can get a really good idea of how I'm using my money and where I could be saving and where I am spending too much and so on and so forth. Also, because I like to restructure my business packages and everything and make sure I know what my expenses are every year and just kind of keep things on track there. So it's good to see how much I'm actually spending. Sometimes I need more space than I think I'm going to need, and sometimes I need less space than I think I'm going to need. So I'm not decorating this at all just in case I need all of the page. And I'm actually completely skipping my social media page. I haven't been using them much for most of the year. I'm kind of just lying to myself about planning out my social media at this point. I do still plan my Instagram in advance, but I'm not as on top of YouTube as I'd like to be because I've been shooting a lot more this year than I have in previous years. So that's not a bad thing either. So I'm going straight into the weekly spread, and I've been doing linear weeklies for ages, like most of this year, and they've been working really well for me, but I'm starting to, I guess, incorporate more notes and general journaling and stuff into my bullet journals. So how many times can I say journal? Really close together. So I wanted to do a weekly spread that was not so linear, gave me kind of chunks of space to write in. So I just tore out all these bits of this brown paper and added on my dates here. Really convenient, again, that we're starting on a Monday. And I'm just going to stick those babies down to the page so that I can kind of be a bit flexible on how much space I'm using for each day. I do tend to be in the office more Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which is why I keep those days on one side so they've got a bit more space, and then I'm out shooting generally more Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, so that's why I choose to divide my week like this. And I do like to have a whole space for Saturday and Sunday, because if I'm not out shooting, then sometimes they can be very different days for me, and I don't like to lump that together into one general weekend spot just for the sake of keeping things even. I don't care if it's even, I care if it's functional. And there we go. Here's a little flip through. It's a very simple layout this time, but it only took me like half an hour to put together, and I think it still looks pretty stylish. So hopefully you agree and enjoyed watching this and might maybe be able to implement something here in your own planning organization system. I did go on and do the rest of these weekly spreads after I set this up, but you don't need to see that. They're all the same. I'm also I keep forgetting to show this in my other videos, but I've been using this little tab system because the choose to do holographic cover that I'm using means that the edges of my journal are protected. So this has worked better for me than lining the edge of the paper for the first day of the month with washi tape like along the side. I didn't find that helped me at all. So this tab system, it's a little bit messy. Honestly, they're not exactly all perfect, but it has been working really well for me, and I think it looks nice overall. So that's always good. And check this out, it's July and I'm halfway through my journal, which is awesome because it means I'm probably going to be able to fit the whole year to a book, which is not necessary, but I just like it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope your July is full of laughter and love and adventure. I'm going on holidays, so mine is going to be a little bit adventurous. And also full of cats, unless you don't like cats. But if you like cats, I hope your July is full of cats. Of course, your girl here is on all of the socials, and if you would like to find me on social media, you can find all of that information in the description box. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like bullet journal or camera content, because I do have some reviews coming for you very soon, I promise. Thank you so much for your patience while I'm out taking photos and not making YouTube videos. But sorry guys, a girl's gotta make a living, and the money comes from the shoots and not from YouTube. Love you, bye!